So today I want to talk about pricing. It is one of those things that can make or break your print-on-demand business or your Etsy shop in general. Once you've decided on products, once you've got your designs, it's time to list your items, and of course, then you have to come up with the correct price, which can feel really scary for a lot of sellers because everybody knows how important pricing is. If a potential customer comes across your item and it's the wrong price, they're not going to purchase it. So in my experience on Etsy, I've tried a lot of different pricing points, and I found for the general range of products that I sell, t-shirts, hoodies, all of that sort of stuff, I was able to find that sweet spot, and I want to go over that with you guys today. And in addition to that, I'm going to talk about shipping prices as well, because you're not necessarily supposed to just charge the shipping price to your customer that the print-on-demand company is charging you. There's certain ways of working around that where your customer still is paying for the shipping cost, but you're building some of that cost into the price. So the shipping price in the cart at checkout isn't like a sticker shock and makes them abandon. So that will become more clear as I go through this video. If that was a confusing initial explanation, I apologize. But it's going to make sense to you. The way that I figured out to do it really works. And I, like I said, have tried every other way that wasn't working for a long time. And, it's just a matter of figuring out what works best for your particular market and your particular item. But there are some general rules that can kind of work for anybody on Etsy. So in addition to this kind of stuff, you also want to keep your competition, that realm of people that are selling the same items that you are, you want to keep them in mind as well. You want to do the research there. We'll talk a little bit more about that. I'll show you guys how I go about deciding my pricing. It's kind of on autopilot at this point because I've been doing it for so long and my prices are just kind of set in the place that they can be, because I've discovered that the pricing that I have now gets me the highest profit with the most amount of sales possible. And that's where I want everybody to be. All of you should get to the point where you feel really confident in your pricing, that what you're offering is both worth the price and it's making you the most amount of money, and your customers are comfortable paying it. And print on demand has a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of moving pieces that we're working with. So if you're going to charge a higher price point on, say, something like a t-shirt, you've got to make sure that every area of your listing is reflective of, the reason why that price is logical. And again, my initial explanations here are a little confusing without going deeply into the strategies. So stick with me. It's going to make sense by the end of the video. And like always, please comment and ask questions below. I respond to every single one of you that I can get to, and I hope that this video is super valuable. It's something I've got a lot of requests to do because it's just so important, and it's something that everybody gets stuck on. So I do hope this will be helpful, and let's get into the video without further ado so I can talk to you guys about pricing and the specific strategies that I use in my shop to get the highest amount of sales possible with the highest profit margin possible. I'm going to use t-shirts as the example here because, of course, it's a very popular thing for people to sell from print on demand, and it's just an easy one to explain in terms of pricing. So everything that I'm going to go over can be applied to any type of product that you're selling print on demand or not print on demand, honestly. I don't necessarily use any specific formulas. I know people really like that because it kind of gives you a concrete feeling of like, okay, this is exactly the numbers where I need to plug them into and what they mean and what they are. I think pricing is a little bit more of an art than a science, unfortunately, because that takes a little bit more work. But like I said, once you find the sweet spot, you can just apply that across the board. It will likely take a little bit of experimentation on your part in the beginning, maybe longer than just in the beginning. That's okay. That's the way it should be. Like I say in all of my videos, this is all an ever-evolving process. You're doing just fine. So I'm going to use this Mama Bear shirt as an example. Say you're selling something similar to this with your print-on-demand company. I'm going to be using Printify for our pricing example because that is the print-on-demand platform that I use and recommend. So when we're talking about pricing, when you're deciding what to price your item, you want to start with your competition. You want to have a lot of knowledge of what's going on price-wise within Etsy search. So as we can see with this Mama Bear shirt, 14, 15, 20,
16. We're seeing anywhere really between probably I'd say between 15 and 20 bucks is the most popular price here. Although there are some lower price points. I'm seeing a lot of 13s. So we have to figure out what the sweet spot for this particular item could be. Now, this may not have been the best example because Mama Bear shirts are very highly saturated. There's a lot of people competing to sell this shirt. So, of course, the lower the price point, probably the better chance you have of getting more action, but that's kind of beside the point. Or I guess not, because maybe you're trying to sell a saturated item. So you have to keep that in mind as well. But you also, more importantly, need to keep in mind how much do you want to make on any specific item. So for me, I decided that on my t-shirts, I wanted to make at least a 50% profit margin. And I'll go through the numbers with you guys and show you specifically what I mean in the price breakdown. But I knew I didn't want to sell shirts for $12. So there's a lot that goes into creating a quality listing in terms of photos and your description. If you're going to sell at a higher price point to where you have a higher profit margin, your listing has to reflect the price. So we can see this is a $19.99 shirt. It's a little bit higher of a price point, but it's still a bestseller. Now, I think it's probably because their design is a lot different than some of these other designs that look pretty darn similar, right? There's another similar one here, but it's the same shop. So this is a really unique design. So they have that advantage selling it for a little bit higher of a price point. But in general, it looks like a pretty high quality listing. They've got some examples here of all the sizes. They've got their size guides, text graphics to tell us more about the product, which I always recommend. And they've got a great listing put together here. So I would say $19.99 is a fine price for this particular product. And let's see, their cost of shipping is free. So that's also going to eliminate some of their profit. I don't recommend free shipping. I recommend having the $35 and over guarantee, meaning if somebody spends more than 35 bucks in your shop, they will get free shipping then and only then. And just because if you don't have free shipping on every listing, you don't have to build that shipping price into this final cost here. And then you're more competitive when people are looking at your listings and search results, right? Because we're not seeing shipping cost here. We're only seeing this price. So the lower the price you can get on your thumbnail photo, the better. It's going to make you more competitive, even if you have a $3 or $4 shipping cost at checkout. Most people are willing to pay that $3 or $4 cost. So let's go to my presentation here on breaking down the costs for a t-shirt. Now, this is one of my best-selling butterfly t-shirts that I produce within Printify. This is a Gildan 5000 t-shirt, a very basic unisex shirt. So on Etsy, I decided to try selling this particular shirt for $22. And then I was going to charge $3 for shipping, and I have that $35 guarantee turned on. So they do not get free shipping here. If they were to buy 2 of these shirts, they'd get free shipping, right? But if you're just buying 1 shirt, you're going to pay $3 shipping at checkout. So the price the customer pays without tax is 25 bucks. Now, when I go to Printify, Printify is charging me $6.07 for both the t-shirt and the printing cost. And I have the Printify premium version, which is 30, maybe 20 bucks a month. No, I think it's 30 bucks a month. So I get 20% off of all the products. If you do not pay this monthly fee, the product cost I think is like $7 or $7.50 for the t-shirt for Gildan 5000. But because I have the premium membership, it's $6, and Printify charges me $4 shipping cost. So in total, I'm paying to Printify $10.07. Now, talking about shipping again, you can see here, you might say, wait a minute, Printify is charging you $4 for shipping. You're only charging your customer $3. How does that make sense? Now, I've decided that the lower the shipping cost for a particular product, especially something really basic like a t-shirt, the more likely it is that people will follow through with their purchase once they've added it to their cart. So I've built $1 of that shipping cost into the $22 price. And I've figured out that, yeah, that's worth taking the hit on my profit margin there. And it's just a little bit of like a psychological move on the part of making the buyer feel like, okay, $3 is a low shipping cost. I'm willing to pay $22 for the shirt. Psychologically, it just works better. $4 shipping for a t-shirt is a little bit on the higher end. So anywhere between $3 and $3.50 for light items, light basic items like t-shirts is recommended. So I pay $10.07 to Printify. Etsy fees total about 8%, which equals $2 in this case. So 25 bucks minus the total costs of expenses that I'm paying to both Printify and Etsy is $12.07. So that creates a total profit of $12.93 on this order. So that means every t-shirt that I'm selling, I've priced all my basic Gildan 5000 t-shirts this way. I'm making $12.93 every time I sell one. That is a profit margin of 52%. I recommend you write this formula down. It's not necessarily a formula, but more of just a general guideline of how things work and the expenses that you need to be taking into account, and plug some numbers in for different things that you're selling, different products based on your market research and what you see the competition is doing, and also considering really how much money you want to make. Now, of course, if you're selling mugs, you want to make $20 a profit every mug you sell, right? But that's not really feasible because most mugs sell for about anywhere between $12 and $19. So you have to then adjust what's the highest amount of profit that you want to make with still having a price that your customer is willing to pay. So let's go back here and look at Printify costs really fast just to give you an overall view of the different price points of t-shirts that Printify has. So the Gildan 5000 is here. This is the unisex t-shirt that I just showed you that I sell mostly in my shop. In my shops, both my shops. And right here we can see all the different print suppliers that you can choose from when you are selling these t-shirts. It's listing the price here. Again, this is for the premium membership. It's going to be a little bit higher if you don't pay the monthly fee. And the shipping cost here. Now it's going to tell you production time and where you can print within this information as well. But right now we're making a pricing video, so I'm going to try to stick to pricing. But all of this information you can see for the particular suppliers. You can make your decisions on which you want to go through in order to supply your customer with the best product, maybe the fastest turnaround time. All of that stuff is things that you'll have to decide for yourself. So like for me, I have been really happy with the Dream Junction, and it looks like their price raised by about 20-ish cents. So that's still okay for me. I find that the quality is great. Their turnaround time is good. I've also used Monster Digital and Swift POD, which has a much lower price in terms of, those types of cents matter a lot on every product over time. But the quality of Swift POD, some people have said, can be inconsistent. So I try to use it sparingly. But this is just kind of a good place to start. There's a lot of different products that you can obviously sell through Printify. If we go to something like mugs, which I know a lot of people are trying to get into, we can see the best seller here is just a basic 11-ounce mug. The lowest price is $4.78, but again, you can get it from different suppliers. These suppliers, one of them is in the UK. So if you're in the US, this is your only option. And we can see $5 for a mug and $6 shipping. So if you're selling a mug, you want to think, okay, like let's just try Mama Bear mug, stick with that theme. We're going to see the general price point, 14 bucks, 11, 12, 17. I think this is a set for 28. So anywhere around the $13 to $14 mark seems about right for a mug. And if you're selling the mug and it's $5.46, you obviously, let's see, what are people selling shipping cost wise? Where's our mug? Search results. Okay, so let's click on a bestseller here, like this Mama Bear mug. They're selling for $12.91. They are from the UK, so that is not a good shipping example. Let's try another one here. Let's go for a really basic one with this rainbow. So they're selling this for $11.62. Their shipping cost is $6.67. So this is a best-selling mug. We can see that people are willing to pay $6.67 in order to ship this mug to them. And it's probably because, you know, the overall price is a little bit lower and the quality of this mug is amazing. Her mock-up photos are so darn good. They make you want this product. So people are like, well, regardless of the shipping price, they're still going through with the sale, right? So you do want to keep the shipping cost as low as possible. For this shop to make even more sales, I would probably recommend them building $3 of the shipping cost into their price here. That would still be competitive. You know, 14 bucks for this mug would probably do fine, and it might help with their conversions because then the customer would only have to pay $3.67 at checkout. But that's just the way that I found works. This is obviously working pretty well for them. So it's all just about optimizing and experimenting and figuring out what's going to work best for your particular customer. So, in summary, the process really is to start with your competition, see what's working within your market, within the market of people selling items just like yours. What is their price points, especially items with the bestseller badge, because that product is working really well. So what does their price point and shipping look like? And then also consider the quality of your listing. If you're just selling a regular mock-up you know, t-shirt photo that's not high quality, that doesn't look exciting, you can't charge $22 for it because it's not going to get clicked on. There's other people with more competitive photos. So every little thing about this matters. If you're going to charge a higher end price point, which for a t-shirt, $22 is a little bit on the higher end when you can find t-shirts for 12, 13, 14 bucks. But if you can match your listing quality, your photo quality, and convince the buyer that, hey, this particular item is worth the money that you're going to spend because it's just higher quality, it's just better made, we're a shop that you can trust. So these are all the things that you need to consider when you're figuring out what your pricing should be for your products. And like I said, this type of strategy works for any type of product. Start with your competition, think about what your customer may be willing to pay, and really spend some time developing the quality of your listing in terms of photos, your description, all of that sort of detailed stuff. So you can charge a higher price point and customers are going to feel comfortable paying it.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. You can also join the Be a Wolf Biz Facebook group. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Please comment on this video as well if there's anything specifically that you're wondering about or that you would like to see me put a video out on. I would love to give you guys as much value as possible and help you along in your Etsy journeys. So let me know what you want to hear, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you later.